Alright, it's only been a little bit of time since I recorded the Monday crossword, but since the Tuesday, April 8th crossword has now dropped, I might as well just get to it. I do need to run off and do some errands before my week goes into its usual state, so let's go ahead and solve this. Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. Hard to avoid knowing this as it happened. Also was very common popping up in the different puzzles from this past weekend. It's just a guess, estimate, abbreviation. Kinka's son is Rue. I didn't know Rue was male. I just know it was the little kangaroo, not rabbit. More than most. All. Having cash to spend. Don't know. We'll skip it. Noodles that often come in a flat rectangular pouch, so that's likely ramen. If we check the downs here, 5 through 9. Corporate doings and which ones? Boss may change. Reorgs. Caribbean locale. Aruba. Probably. The divine, don't know. Scratch out. Eke out. Common crossword stuff. Table salt to chemist. NaCl is the formula. Alright, instruction in a risotto recipe. Probably boil, but let's check the downs. Smokey Robinson. So it's not boil. It's probably stir. Wandered through the neighborhood after dinner, maybe. Don't know. We'll see what that is, but something like take a walk. Traditional way to sign a contract in ink. Seeded lows, rise likely. So stir looks good. We'll cut to the 14 across, go it alone. Solo. So using solo as a verb, sure. I'm not your perfect Mexican daughter, don't know, but looks like it'll be Erica. More than a few, many. So we had more than where is it? More than most, and now we have more than a few. Cute. Treat from a recipe printed on a Nestle package. Toulouse cookie. Reference to Phoebe's grandma's cookie recipe, secret cookie recipe in Friends. Anyways, let's check 18 down. You are here on a map. And T-Boone Pickens, no clue who that is, so we'll skip. Hit and run, but not error. So hit and run would either refer to a crime where you drive into someone and take off without actually addressing the situation. They say but not error, so you could also interpret it as baseball stats. Which it won't be. And it could be something else because not sure what it is, but it's going to end with an S, so I'll throw that in there. So maybe Aruba's wrong. Makes an analogy to, likens to. Bluffer's activity, poker game, very likely. We'll check all the downs though. Like lots of Instapics, no clue. Or after soap or before box. Soap opera, opera box. Opera box, yeah, that sounds good. Awareness of body position scientifically. No clue. It's probably going to be like something with the base of kinesthetics, like that. And itsy bitsy could be eensy. It could even be eeny with an IE. But it'll usually come out to be eensy with this many letters. But yeah, poker game is looking good, even though I only got 23 down. Bag thing to spring a leak. Share one's ideas, opines, shares, one's ideas opines. Awards depicted by a winged woman holding an atom. That would be Emmys. This has popped up in recent weeks, so that's the only reason I know what the Emmy statue is holding. Nintendo Avatar. Me, haven't seen this pop up in a while, but even though the Wii has been not the current console for a decade at this point, whatever. Thrilled. Don't know. We'll keep going. More Than a Fad. Mania, very likely. So we'll check the downs here. Strength. Don't know. PD alert. APB. Police Department alert, that is. Not PagerDuty. For shame, this could be Tisk. I think Tut has also been popping up lately, and it could be something else that I haven't thought of. So let's check the downs. Justice Sotomayor, I don't know. Work with the hands, could be need. But again, it could be something else if it's not Tisk. So we'll keep going. Actually, is this Sonia? I don't know. Let's see if that happens to be it. And if not, oopsies, I'm sorry. I don't know. Government shit. Anyways, before in poetry, you're going to get air there every time. Contributes to a group gift or a hint to 17, 22, 48, and 54 across chips in. So everything has chips in it. Cookies do. Poker games do. We got Oil Man filled out, so sure, I have no idea who T. Boone Pickens is, but he can be an oil man. Let's check 37, 38 down, though. Modern pastry portmanteau would be your CRONUT. Unassuming home, let's make that a hut. Filmmaker would be Ron Howard, so Sonia and Need are looking good, which makes Tisk look good. Berlin article. Das. I don't know German, so I'm just going to throw that in there. Most popular sport in New England would be rugby. Only word that'll fit there. Ice cream base. So I'm going to let this be cone. I don't want to pin it in because base would usually refer to the cream itself. But here, on a Tuesday, base could mean a base that you put ice cream on. So a little bit more trickier of a cluing you would get on a Tuesday, in my opinion. Mexican dish made with fried masa. Yeah, we'll come back to it. Masa being the corn dough, but in my head I was thinking like a taquito, maybe it's a chalupa, but I don't know what a chalupa is outside of Taco Bell, so I'm not going to fill that in. Anyways, engagement, quaintly, no clue. Let's check 44 down. Hullabaloo could be a different thing, so I'm going to skip that as well. Showy flower, native to Central America. I'm going to guess that's dahlia. That makes me feel like that chalupa is going to happen, but we'll just keep going with the downs, or the acrosses as we come to it. Type of window, not a student. Who lives in a college building? Could be dormer. Just an educated guess, because college building would be a dorm. So if it sounded like a student living one, would be a dormer. Let's go with that. Immediately could be ASAP. I also realized if I was trying to do the downs, I did not review them once I hit this. Having cash to spend would be solvent, and also like lots of Instapics posed is not great, but the only thing I can think of, and thrilled could be sent, like I am sent with someone. Anyways, let's keep going. And then the 24 down looks like it is following some kind of kinesthetic type of word. Anyways, Blank Academy, source of free online courses. That would be Khan Academy. Pretty sure it's spelled that way. Prepared to propose. Perhaps past tense would be knelt. Now, crunchy Tex-Mex bowl, that'll be your taco salad. Now you got strength of might. You got traveled like a toss ball would be arced. New York's Mario something bridge. Pretty sure that's going to be Mario Cuomo. I think that we drove by a sign on the way back to the airport that had the name there for the bridge. So feeling good about it. We can see that CHALUPA has come into fruition, but we'll just keep going. 8 fluid ounces. That will be your 1 cup. No 2 girls. Grumpy face. That'll likely be a pout, but I'll pencil it in. Poems that express approval, likely odes. I have not seen this clued in regards to approval, more about praise, so I'll just pencil it in just because. In the country, that'll be a rural office workstation. Let's go desktop computer. And we have the downs here, so line near the bottom receipt would be tax. Right angled bend, L. Haven't seen this in a while, but very common to put in crosswords. Easy cluing. Common sushi roll topping would be row. Ellie Weasel. I don't actually realize I never said out loud. It's an Eli Weasel or Ellie Weasel, but author of night. Actually never read this, even though it was required reading in middle school. I'm willing to help. Use me. Sure. Haven't seen that put in there before, but works. Palo Alto, California. Home of, was it original home of Facebook? I don't know. Everyone probably knows Palo Alto by now. Mean meteor mode, that would be a stat. Now we can do the downs. So kinesthesia, let's throw that in there. And 44 down. Hullabaloo is probably racket. So troth would be your engagement. Troth, like betroth. All right, sure. Elizabeth's house, Tudor. So Big Ten school whose main campus is in Happy Valley. Sure, Penn State University. I realized I didn't even check this down, but I wouldn't have got it. I would, even with just the P. I mean, maybe I would have guessed it at some point, but there's only 3 letters. So we got one more letter. Let's guess that's going to be Axel. We see that CHALUPA has already been spelled out. So the 64 across clue is rod between wheels. And yeah, that'll take us to wrap up with Axel. So just kind of slowly talk through things. Pretty easy puzzle. Just not going fast is why I'm not getting it quickly. Doing some penning in for the stuff that's more confident. Didn't have to undo anything, even my pencils. So following the strategy I was talking about over on Monday as well. So kind of solidifying that as much as I can. So yeah, we got, let's review the theme of chips in. So I didn't even remember to think about the theme when we were going over the other theme clues, because the numbers don't actually show up, or I guess it does highlight chips in when you go over it, but taco salad doesn't necessarily have chips in it. Wouldn't that make it nachos? Kind of dumb, if you ask me. And desktop computer, sure, you've got your CPU at the very least, different kinds of chips, just processors is what I'm thinking of. So sure, for the most part, works for me. What are the clues that I had no idea what the answers would be and needed to either guess or rely on the crosses? So Erica Sanchez, don't know who that is. And the Divine Miss M2, so I was able to deduce Erica and just got Miss M on its own. Don't know if I would have guessed Miss M here, but maybe. Kinesthesia, knew it was going to be somewhere of this kind of wording, but I don't know this for vocabulary, so required the crosses to really get it. Troth, actually. Oh, I got das. I did guess that properly, but troth for betroth. Would not guess that on my own. Needed to confirm with the downs. Cone was a little bit toughy, but was a good educated guess on my part. Dahlia, just there was enough to fill this in. I wouldn't say I was super confident in it. I didn't know it was a Central America flower, just that it fit in. But outside of that, the acrosses all made perfect sense. Checking the downs, that what didn't we get through? Dormer and Cuomo were educated guesses. I felt pretty good about Cuomo, but because it's not something that I've known for more than 2 days, didn't want to lock that in. Chalupa as well. I had that educated guess because it started with a C, but I didn't have anything that made me feel confident in it. And then Sonia, I guess Tiskin is the original guess here, but it did give me Sonia. I think after I can't remember, but I got enough of the letters where I just filled in Sonia as a guess at some point. Need was a good educated guess. Working with hands could have been anything, but with the K from Tisk, I just thought it was strong enough signal. So yeah, it's not a tough puzzle at all. I think this was potentially the trickiest part, just because I don't know any of this factual. Could have been Erica spelled differently. It already has a K instead of a C of what I'd be used to, so ain't nothing to it. Got through it, and we're done. So thanks for watching, and good night.